Just a little preface for this video. This video is about, well, as you can see, Letsdig18. Here's a close-up of the sticker, just so you can see it. It's a little bit hard to see it from back there, but there it is. Nice looking sticker. Coming to our property to give us a consultation on reclaiming of what will be a lake property, which was an old sand mine. Now, we bought it a couple of years ago with the understanding with the former owner that he would reclaim the property, slope the sides, turn it back into a pond. After a year of him saying he would do it, he did not do it, to the point where, as you'll see in other videos, or even in this video, you'll see where the dam broke between Simpson Creek, which is right over there. It broke through, and actually, you know, we're at the mercy. If the water comes up in the creek, the water comes into the lake. I'm leaving it open right now just because this way I don't need to pump it. So we've been about a month and a half now without rain, so the lake is down to a manageable level. But I wanted to do it properly. I didn't want to put too many hours, wasted hours, on this machine. So who better to call than Chris from Letsdig18. Again, get one of his shirts. He's got stickers. I contacted him, asked him if he would be interested in coming down for a consultation. He agreed. A 3-hour trip each way for him. So he and Justin, who I'm sure you will see on his channel if you go, and I will put a link to subscribe to Letsdig18, and also I will put a link to the video that he took when he was here. He's got quite a lot of content basically where he is building ponds, repairing ponds, fixing other people's mistakes. So that was part of the reason I didn't want to make any mistakes. I wanted to be as efficient as possible. So I felt it was well worth the money to have him come down to do that. And he did a great job. It's helpful. Upcoming videos you'll see of the progress I've made, and also the progress that that will come in the future. So that's what this video is about. Watch these clips, and like I said, go over to Letsdig18 channel, subscribe to him, ring the bell so you'll get upcoming updates from that. I know he wanted to come back here when it was all done and do a follow-up video as well, so I'm sure hopefully you enjoy the video, and it'll give you an insight to a lot of future videos of the progress as it comes along. So thanks for watching.
Dam kind of like a start in this corner and make it like a horseshoe.
Yeah, I mean, he'd definitely have to tie it in to where those 5-gallon buckets are.
Yeah.
And probably to about the height and everything can go up, and you don't want that.
No.
But, you know, you could go out there and very easily just rake that out, and all that'll just cover it up. And just make, honestly, you need a dozer as you're putting it, somebody start putting it in place and tracking it. But what you can do is, once you get that pile up right here, if you just want to use the excavator, well, first you're going to come in here and cut all this out. You're going to need to dig probably a core trench. Probably, how wide's that machine?
Oh, you just want the width of your bulldozer blade.
Yeah, just so you can get in there, you know, dig it on down into the ground. That way you're locking, because you see all those roots and everything.
Yeah.
And when the water comes up, it's going to go right straight through that. So you got to dig that out, and you can lay that up top, and then get you a good trench in here. And as you put that dirt in here, probably every 12 inches, just kind of rake it out with the excavator, and then just track it down and pack it down.
But I guess a good way to start the core, if you don't know to get in your mind how you want to do the core, you want to start from point A to point B, and whatever you think you can get done in a day filled back. You don't want to dig out more than you can get done.
You don't want to dig a big trench and you come back the next day and it's full of water.
Oh, yeah.
So that kind of defeats the purpose of putting mud back in it. So
okay, yeah.
If you think you can do 50 foot in a day, start right there.
And that the core we talk about is the center of the dam. So wherever the center of the dam is going to be, that's kind of like the yellow line in the road. That's all you need to think about.
Or like a keyway in a footing.
Yeah, that's right. What keeps your water from coming up to it and say, oh, this is easy. Let's just go under it.
Yeah.
Because if you just lay it right here on this, say you just start building your dam right on here, well, that water's going to hit that layer of sand right there and be like,
It'll
Go
well,
right
can I
through
fill up or can I just go through? And it's just going to leak right through that, and you're going to walk back there and it's just going to look
watch
like
it trickle
water
it out.
oozing out.
And then it'll eventually
it'll saturate it and
erode
if
it
you
out
get
too, right?
Yeah,
Enough to
possibly.
push it through. So
Yeah, that's all you want. It's just a keyway in layman's terms. And then, do you want the core like the yellow line of the road? The road goes from point A to point B, and the yellow's in the middle. So that's all you got to think about.
And any of that concrete you can take and bring back here and put on that back edge is going to do nothing but help.
yeah, that's
You don't want that buried in the dam because it'll cause it to leak. But
right. But on
you
the
put
outside, so it's
2 or 3
at
foot
least
on the back side, so that creek when it hits it, it doesn't erode it.
Yeah.
Fine.
Go ahead and put that back there about halfway like it needs to be, just if it's even piled before you even start the dam.
Because that'll help when that water's hitting it to kind of deflect
yeah, make it go off.
Because you're probably just going to let that go natural when you're done with it.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
I was
so.
thinking maybe I should try to pull some of those trees out of it so it runs past. Like once I get up there, maybe I can rip
Well,
those trees
those-
out.
those
I mean,
trees-
they're really holding the dirt.
Yeah,
on
they're
like
holding
it.
it together.
Yeah, that's true.
You want to work.
Unless you got enough concrete where you can go ahead and
There is some more. We'll see when we walk around.
Cover
that
it.
He dumped some more back up there, and I kind of started to push it over with the dozer because I didn't want to see it.
yeah.
But afterwards, I'm thinking, well, now, you know, I had them put a thumb. When I bought it, it didn't have a thumb, but they put a thumb, and of course, it's a fixed thumb. You know?
yeah.
But
Well, it'll work.
it's better
It'll
than
do
it
nothing.
still works.
At least you can grab stuff.
Yeah. But that's now. Should I do this end last? Like do all the rest of it so that it keeps outflowing, and then like
As
bring.
far as like doing all your grading, or what you talking about?
Well, as far as like even over there, because I've got to slope that side.
yeah,
as well.
you got to do all your slopes and
And
everything.
if there's
before
any
that
good
first,
dirt
and then-
in that slope, you want to use that for,
for your dam.
Anywhere
I mean,
you run on
you
good
can go
dirt.
ahead and build the dam from here to here all the way around,
and just leave that.
and then at
just
the
leave
end,
middle, like
just
what you
fill
did
that
on
in.
that-
Yeah,
on
just
that
leave it
other
open
one.
so it drains. That way you get an idea of like, oh crap, you get right here and you've already dug this. I'm halfway out of dirt.
Yeah.
Well, then you can go on that hill and cut it back.
Get it
another
back
3 or
even
4
more,
foot.
because what I could do and what I was thinking, because the only place that really matters is I don't want to take the ditch away. Like where that dead tree is, right behind it, there's a ditch there.
Okay.
too. So I could dig that back because it doesn't matter if it's my front yard. It's my front yard. It
Yeah,
makes
you could
sense.
always move your road around
Yeah.
through the woods over there on the other side of the
we
trees.
had to do. So I could take a lot of that dirt. That's why I started just to try to knock it down a little bit. You know, just so that I didn't have a cliff, because you know sometimes somebody comes over here or whatever. I don't want them just falling.
Walk
straight.
over there, yeah.
At least if they fell off, they kind of roll now
It bounces.
instead of dropping down, 15 feet. So.
Yeah, you could cut the grass off the top of that and use the dirt from the grass, put that on the back side of the dam, whatever good dirt you come about in that slope, just put it in the dam.
And I'm hoping that what I call Goose Island out there, we can walk down that way.
Yeah, we'll walk down all the way around.
And I was thinking that I could get a lot. There should be a lot of out there that I can bring down
It's
here.
just we're trying to keep all your dirt as close as possible. 'Cause
Right, without having to move.
You don't
'cause
have
I was
a-
like, yeah. I mean, I could fit with that bucket. It's 1.5 scoops. Pretty much, the truck is full.
Yeah.
Like it's like Jesus. I mean, it's like I
So
feel.
pretty much to do 1,000 yards, you got to have. Oh god, move
5.
Well, 1,000 loads would be 3,500 yards if you can move what 3.5 yards a truck.
Yeah.
So you got 1,000 truckloads to move 3,500 yards. So if you got to do 12,000, 14,000, you're looking at 3,000 or 4,000 truckloads.
I mean, you'd be
Gonna put 10
whoever drove that
10,000
truck.
miles on the truck.
Yeah, whoever drove
You know,
that
if you're
truck
only
be
getting what 10 or 12 loads an hour, that kind of gives you an idea how long it's going to take.
Yeah.
So if you can find your old dump truck
Yeah, that wouldn't be
for
bad.
$5,000, $6,000, $7,000 that you can
just something that runs.
Yeah.
I mean, even if the brakes didn't even work, I mean, just
enough to haul it and build your little berm, dump it, and just
Sell it again afterwards.
get you a nice dump truck to ride around sweat in this summer.
Yeah, I'll be in them anyway. Well, why don't you see if you can get one of the DOT ones and say you don't know where it went afterwards, and then you can find it.
Steal a DOT?
Can we use it on the weekend?
Yeah.
We'll fill it up with fuel when
That's
we're
right.
done with it. We only put 50 miles on it. We hauled 500 loads with it.
yeah.
Well, I'll take a little video of this and then we'll walk up there and see what we got. I'm going to stand up here and road and so. As gentle as you can get it and get it stabilized with grass or whatever you decide to put on it. Because, I mean, that's pretty much a dam right there now. So that would be perfect. Yeah, I mean, there's a ridge right here, then you got 30 foot before you get to that ditch. So that's more than adequate just to tie in right there and just carry it on around.
See, this has some of the See, this has some good. I think this is the good stuff here. See here too, that orange stuff.
Yeah. I'm a little out of my working area with the sand. We don't have sand. We have gumbo clay. Yeah.
That stuff packs good.
That's what, I think that's kind of what they call a sand clay down here. Yeah. Yeah. The more you can get that for the dam, the better.
And again, I don't know how, like, I know it gets a little bit squishy.
Yeah.
Like probably, I mean, I don't think you can go past where that.
I wouldn't touch none of that. I maybe sit right in here and just kind of take the bucket and slick it up. I mean, if you're going to have water all the way up to right here, it's not really going to matter. I would, like I said, we're trying to keep our dirt as close as possible, but if you only raise the water up 4 foot, it's only going to be a foot deep right here.
Yeah,
so
right in here. So
this may be your best bet to come in here and just cut all this out and start using that for your dam.
Yeah, start on this end and work your way around.
And then at the end, you know, I'd go around here and get all these trees and everything. Because, I mean, if you want a road, you're going to have to clear that anyway.
Yeah.
And then you can just go around there and just break that bank and just soften it up. Just take it and just pull it down. And just get it where you can maintain it.
Wherever, you know, and wherever you need to add a little bit or whatever to straighten it out, just throw you some, get out here and what's left, throw you some dirt up there and get it right.
This way you see how much you need and you don't get too much.
That's right.
Do you have a laser or transit or anything?
I got a laser.
That way you can kind of shoot your water. I mean, if you come up 4 foot, water's going to be like...
Water fits its container. You know, that's the
Maybe
definition
right
of a
here.
liquid. So
technically you won't have water all the way up there unless you dig it that far.
Right.
But that's going to take a world of dirt. So
Yeah, yeah.
you might as well, no need to have a little flat area here unless you want it. Go ahead and just cut it out. Just start
Take it
taking it
over
around
there.
there. But something like
and
this,
digging. I guess. And speaking of methods, because I mean we would know how to go right to moving this, but you want the traco sitting up here, and then you're cutting from this way, and you got the tracks facing behind you, and you're working your way back, and the dump trucks maybe pulling and turning and backing up to you, and you're just digging out from in front of you and lay it into it, and then the dump truck takes off and goes right back that way.
What I would do if I had the off-road truck is I'd start cutting right here, have my truck sitting right here, I'd cut it, load into it, and he'd just back up, dump it, and have the dozer start pushing it off.
Yeah.
Big cycle, just load, dump, haul.
And you do the least amount of turns, so like you're saying, forward and backward. So he just, you know, you cut a spot for him to come beside you or something, load him. All the dump truck driver's got to do is put it in reverse and go straight. It might take him a little bit longer because he's going a little bit slower in reverse, but it's the same amount of time if you count how long it takes him to turn to make a two-point turn at each end. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, that's what I was doing when I took those trees down. I was trying to clear out that little ditch that's you can see if there's a ditch that goes between here and the house, and that's what I was doing because I was dumping it over the side. See, I put the stumps and stuff over there too, and I just I did that. I backed up and I just dumped it
off and pushed it in there.
Yeah.
But that's really what I would do. Honestly, I'd probably just leave that dirt down there. Would you? You know, I'm sure it's going to be wet.
Oh yeah.
It seems like it would just be best just to start cutting your dirt from up here. It's a lot farther. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's going to take a lot more work to get it down there, but you're also gaining a lot more pond by getting this dirt. And I think that's the ultimate goal, is to not have water right down there, so you got all this like barren land right here. But just come in here, just get some. I mean, I wouldn't be worried about every little piece of grass. It's going to get mixed in. It's not going to matter. But just yank the trees out and stuff like that, so it's not into your dirt.
See, I want to get rid of this I call Goose Island. Like I don't like it at all.
Yeah. Well, like I say, if we only raise the water up 4 or 5 foot, that's still gonna be stuck out of the water.
Yeah. So I've got to go out here.
Because 4 foot's only gonna get your water to about right.
Right in here.
Maybe right here. So water level will tie into about right there.
And then if that was the case, then this is all going to keep growing.
Yeah.
If it's that shallow, then it would be a mess. See, I took those piles that are there, and some of them I moved, but I was just trying to push it up with the dozer.
Yeah.
And those few piles, I did that on a day, just when I was trying to do it. But see this stuff here, like
Just mushy.
you know, you can keep on.
You'd build your road up there, but once you started cutting, I'd come right up here to the water level and just use the water as like a laser. Just cut right up there to it, and maybe a few inches before, and you know it's going to fill it with water, and that water is just going to keep your grade all the way back. So if you just start digging, that way you don't get over here and you're 2 foot above the water. You're like, oh crap, now I got to go back.
Oh, go back again, yeah.
Just start right there at the water level and just make your cut back. So
Until it keeps coming.
for some reason you get to right there and you've got all the dirt you need. Well, at least this is gone.
Yeah, because it just looks terrible. Like this part looks.
Yeah, but if you, I know I just said start down there, but this has got to come out to start up here. That way you don't cut all that out and you're like, oh, we got all our dirt, and then you got this huge island.
And then what do I do with it? Yeah.
We try to start with our dirt. Every job's different. Sometimes we try to start just as close as possible, and sometimes we try to start just as far away. It really depends on the situation.
What I was thinking was to do the areas that are the most prone to the water or being wet, because even that area right where all that grass is, see the drag line is kind of, see that pipe that's there?
Mm-hmm.
That it was right there. And now this, if it doesn't rain like in July or something, you could, I kept all that bush hog and everything. It was nothing. But if it rains a little bit, that's kind of wet. You can't even get out there. So I was thinking if there was a time when it was dry, I'd like to throw all that back at least.
Yeah.
Like, I know the water would be over that, but I'm just worried that the grass.
You don't want a shallow spot.
Yeah.
And if you say that's as deep as it is, I mean that's going to be crud right there. If you just want to
push it in,
lay it out here into the water, I mean it's not going to hurt anything.
That's
it
true.
looks like the water.
At least get it down a foot, and then you know once you cut all that off, it's not going to sprout back if it's underwater.
Yeah.
And then you put another 4 foot on top of that.
Yeah, it looks like the water's good and deep right in here.
But I mean you got plenty of dirt. There's no shortage of dirt.
Okay.
I mean,
At all.
This is 5,000-6,000 yards of dirt right here.
Right in here.
Just to that brush and piles. By the time you cut all this out 4 or 5 foot, you got dirt.
Okay, well that's good.
Dirt's not a shortage. But it just, you might just have to mix it all together. I mean, I see your clay you're talking about, and that's
That's big. Is that a turtle or is that a fish?
that was a fish.
Now, I didn't see it happen, but he had a guy working for him, and he said he took a bucket, because he was, you know, always digging. He took a bucket out, and there was like a 30-inch fish he pulled up, and it fell
That
off
wouldn't
on
surprise
him.
me.
So, got my father-in-law coming to visit in a couple of weeks. So he's like the best fisherman. Like, he literally, I'm not just saying that. I don't fish, but this guy can catch fish like where there aren't any fish.
Yeah.
And, so
He's got an act.
He can throw a hook in the, and if it starts to smear, then you know that it's got a good clay in it enough. But
if it just breaks into
it breaks into sand, it's not the best in the world, but this is by far probably the best clay you're going to find down here. I mean, you really don't have options. There's nothing you can do about it. You just got to use what's best you got. I mean, that pond work they're fixing, it looks like I'm digging pure, like, crushed rock. But it's what it's there, and it packs hard as concrete, so
yeah, so
you got to use what you got to use. I mean,
it's not like you can bring in that much.
yeah, I mean, it would be $1 million to haul in
They got
that much dirt, clay, yeah.
Well, I've never driven out there.
Okay.
Let me walk on it and see what it feels like.
Well, you can walk on it and be solid when you put the excavator on it. I'll turn the quick
And I don't have those mats like you do.
Yeah.
Like that.
Well, at that point in time, you can grab a few logs and kind of walk on them.
You just need to see what kind of dirt's under that.
Yeah. What I do as a good indication is I go out there and I just stab the bucket in with the teeth down, and if it picks the machine up and only sinks a foot or so, you're
Then
fine.
it's okay.
But
If it
you
goes
don't
all
want
the
to
way down to the top
yeah,
of the
you
bucket.
probably need a whoa.
Whoa instead of go.
Yeah, you might have a stuck machine out there. But I wouldn't really cut that out. I just go out there and just kind of rake over that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, in the worst case, it's going to be swampy and muddy if you just want to dig a hole where you know you're not going to ever go back, and just bury it and just spread the dirt out along the bank or something. Because the water's going to come up to about this. This is going to be your bank right here.
See, I was trying to get it to that height, because in Florence, I tell you, the water came up about 50 feet up this
On the grass,
Yeah.
it was still a good 3 feet deep right
Yeah.
where we're at.
Yeah.
It was full. It was really full.
Oh, it was full. It was funny to see it too, because you'll see when we walk around, it's pretty high over here, and it was, I don't know, it was maybe 3 feet, 4 feet from the, it was weird to look down to see it. But I was thinking I should, like I was hoping that I could, I didn't shoot it, but I'm thinking that probably where that high point is, because even that, I'm trying to remember if that...
Yeah, that's at least probably 3 or 4 foot higher than where we're standing right now. That's probably about this level right here.
So I was thinking if I was able to, if I had enough dirt, which I figured I could get out of the Goose Island there.
Yeah.
I could bring it back to, like, start leveling it from here.
Mm-hmm. And we don't really have to. The water's not even going to get up. Well, it'd probably get up that high.
Yeah.
As far as getting that, I don't know what your best bet is for right there.
Almost, or maybe just put the bolt in there and
just
lock
cut it off
with
yeah.
Yeah.
I could probably snap them off.
That would probably be your safest bet. I mean,
Yeah.
you could sit right here and get
Some of it, yeah.
I just don't know. I mean,
I don't want to get
it's never
stuck.
been touched because there's trees there, but or it may have been mine. Well, obviously, it's been mine because it's just where it's grown back up over time.
Yeah.
But I just go out there, and when you don't feel comfortable, just
If there's,
stop.
if there's
That one little tree's not worth burying.
No, no.
I've recovered too many of. They just didn't know when to stop.
And I don't want to do that. So,
A 5-minute recovery turned into like, oh my God.
It's not even like you're trying to pull it. That one couple of stay up like that. One's gonna flatten itself out. Poke a little bit. It started right up there. The man went up there. Clearly the guy was not there. Despite the saying the guy just hit in the bunch of the ball down. But he gave me the key and I went out. It's not like the key wanted to enter. Because clearly he didn't remember I was coming. And it started right up. And of course they had it so tight together you couldn't even swing the whole way around. That different thing, right? Yeah. So I did.
Oh yeah. I grew up on John Deere machines running John Deere.
Well, I made a comment on one of the things, but I really think that it makes more sense.
Oh yeah, it
Because
does.
you're tooling and sticking all at the same
Mine
thing.
Bucket and stick all one control.
Yeah, it just seems like it makes more sense, yeah.
Yeah.
But again, nobody uses it, so
I don't know who came up with it, if there's I'm not comfortable with that. The muscle